go. And then we actually, to make little toes, we use, this is called a veining tool. And we use the thicker end. Usually there's a thinner end and a thicker end, and we just want to make two little toes. So we're going to flip that around. Thank you. And we're just going to kind of wiggle that down. So there's one little toe. There's two little toes. Okay. Now I've never actually counted bunny toes. Have you?
Of course.
You've got way too much time.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do as many as you want, but we just usually do the two.
Alrighty.
Now, before we go on to do the next step, before these set up, what we like to do is kind of place, this is how the feet are going to go, and this is going to stand up in this area here. So before this fondant gets firm, what you want to do is just take your cookie and just kind of roll it in here. And we just kind of make a little bed where this cookie will end up sitting. It'll just stabilize it a little bit more when we're ready to attach it. Okay, so at this point we can just go ahead and pop those over to the side and move on to the next pieces, which are the arms. She'll show you how to cover the arms.
And once again, I'm going to roll this out. And we're just going to take that, wiggle it a little bit. I'm going to do two of those. And then we'll go ahead and remove that. Okay, and then once again, we'll take that and let's see, right about... Is that about right? Make sure you got your pieces, and sometimes you can hold those pieces up too. This is what I do. If you get tired, sometimes you'll start doing some silly things. Is that about right, thickness?
Looks about right, and if it's not perfect, what we can do is just stretch it out a little bit.
All right, and for the sake of moving this along, okay, and then and make sure too that when you're doing things, you're cutting them the right way. Sometimes when you get tired, and I've done that, you'll look down and realize that it was the wrong way. Let's get rid of that. Okay, and then we'll cut that and remove it. And then we'll go ahead and adhere those to the arms. So again, we usually use the water on the back of the fondant. You don't want to get that too wet either. And then you'll see this is very forgiving. Actually, let's do this one. And it's like Susan said, it doesn't have to be perfect because we can take our fingers and actually flatten that out. All right, now we have little bunny arms, we need little bunny fingers. So we've taken the two ends of this, we use the wider end for the feet and the toes, we're gonna use the smaller end for the little fingers. And all you're gonna do is just lightly indent that into the end of the fondant. And you've got bunny fingers.
Okay, so we can put those aside down here. So those are the pieces we have. Next, we're going to move on to the egg. I've got some pink fondant rolled out here, so I'm just going to cut that. There's nothing unusual about that. Wrap this up a little bit. Pick this up. Water on the back. Remember, the water doesn't have to go on every single inch. I usually don't put it too close to the edge either. Just kind of smooth it out like this. Then I have some lavender fondant rolled out, and then this is just it's actually a Play-Doh cutter, so just kind of look around and see what you have. You never know what your kids have. Cut a couple of strips. You can use a ruler if you prefer to use a ruler to make sure that the sizing is right. I kind of like to just go for it. Alright, so I'll take this, and first I always check it and make sure it's going to be how I like it. I like to curve it a little bit like that. Then what I can do is go ahead and flip it over, a little bit of water on the back. Place it on here and kind of curve it again. And then I like to use the spatula and just kind of cut it off at the sides there. Okay.